It's Monday, February 22nd, 2016. This is PSN News. Tonight, we'll fill you in on everything you have missed this weekend at Thon.
We'll also take a look at new funding for CAPS. Stay tuned.
On this one. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Michelle Backus.
And I'm Cherish Fong.
Students are still celebrating after their year-long fundraising efforts resulted in over $9 million being donated to help fight pediatric cancer. This past weekend, thousands crowded into the Bryce Jordan Center to dance for 46 hours straight at Thon. The millions raised will go to the 4 Diamonds Fund, which helps fight childhood cancer and provide support in families battling it. Although the total was great, it was more than $3 million under last year's total. The difference is believed to have been caused by the cancellation of 2 canning weekends after a student died in a car accident returning from fundraising. However, the Thon Executive Committee stressed that the financial contribution pales in comparison to what students contribute emotionally to the families who attend.
One of the faces of Penn State will soon be leaving the university. Mike Herr, known to most students as Mike the Mailman, will be retiring on April 1st. The Center Daily Times reports that Herr's last day will coincide with his 48th anniversary on the job. He took the job with the U.S. Postal Service in 1968 and was originally planning to only stay for 5 years. Herr hopes to spend his retirement traveling the world with his wife and writing a book about his experiences at Penn State.
The Penn State community rejoiced as the local favorite Berkeley Creamery reopened on February 20th. The business, which is widely known for its ice cream, closed for renovations back in December of last year. According to the creamery's assistant manager, James Brown, the renovations were made to repair signs of wear and tear as well as improve the layout for customers. A few of the changes consist of creating more freezer space, implementing larger coolers, installing new flooring, as well as other improvements in order to enhance the flow of traffic. The business located on Curtin Road celebrated its 150th anniversary last year and is now back up and running.
Thanks to a generous donation, Penn State students battling depression, anxiety, and other psychological disorders will benefit greatly. The Senior Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations, Rodney P. Kirsch, as well as the Associate Dean for Student Affairs in the Schreyer Honors College, Michelle S. Kirsch, dedicated $50,000 to the university. This money will aid in starting the Embedded Counselor Program, which entails that a therapist will be located in one of the resident halls in order for students to obtain the help that they need. It will be provided through the Penn State Counseling and Psychological Services beginning in the 2016 to 2017 academic year.
Police are still trying to answer questions about the death of a woman found in Ferguson Township. According to the Daily Collegian, Corrine Pena was found in Pine Mills last Sunday, and police are still looking for her connection to State College. Center County District Attorney Stacey Parks Miller said not much is known about the woman, but there is reason to believe she had a connection to the area. Police are encouraging anyone with information to come forward.
Fights between roommates are often inevitable, but usually firearms are not involved. The Daily Collegian reports a Penn State student facing criminal charges after he pulled a gun and pointed it at his roommate's head. Joshua Landis of State College is charged with terroristic threats, reckless endangerment, and simple assault. Landis was allegedly confronted by his male roommate for stealing from others they lived with. Police said witnesses told them Landis then took a gun from his room, pointed it, and cocked it toward his roommate. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for this Wednesday.
Coming next, we'll show you even more from the biggest weekend of the year, Thon. Keep watching. The University Park Undergraduate Association held their weekly meeting on Wednesday night with only one piece of legislation on the agenda. The new legislation is an establishment of a Pennsylvania Association of State-Related Students liaison. UPUA at-large Representative Ryan Valencia presented the policy to the Assembly and discussed ways to reach out to the state legislators about the budget and pass. The policy states that each individual institution is tasked with providing a caucus chair to serve as an officer of the organization. The vote to establish this position passed unanimously. Now, on to another special celebration. Thon is so much more than the final donation number, as the entire weekend is filled with events for the dancers and for the kids. Alyssa Gregory has more.
Thanks, Michelle. Now, as we know, Thon began Friday night with dancers standing up for 46 hours straight beginning at 6 p.m. They were kept entertained and distracted from the pain all weekend with tons of performances from student groups and local bands, as well as water gun fights and games with the kids. On Saturday, Penn State sports team took to the stage for a pep rally. The Penn State football team won in the men's bracket and the women's soccer team took the women's bracket. After a dance-off between the men and the women, the guys ultimately won overall. Dancers and attendees weren't the only ones having fun. Thanks to the Thon Explorers program, kids were able to choose how they wanted to spend their weekend over in State College, especially on Saturday. Some chose to ride horses at the Penn State Horse Barn, others learned how to be a pastry chef for the day at the Penn Stater Hotel, and some even met up with the Alpha Fire Company to ride fire trucks. About 30 Thon families decided to spend an afternoon with the football team in the Lash building. Families received a tour of the team's training facilities and had an ice cream social in the weight room. The football team also played games with the kids. Other events throughout the weekend included a kids fashion show and kids variety show. There were very serious moments at Thon as well. On Saturday morning, the memory of Tally Seapot was honored. Seapot died in a car accident while returning from a canning trip with her sorority, Alpha Chi Omega, during the fall semester. Her friends, sorority sister, and parents talked about Seapot on the stage and announced the Tally Seapot Memorial Scholarship. Then, of course, there was Family Hour on Sunday. In one of the closing hours of Thon, several Four Diamond families shared their stories to an emotional crowd. Shortly after, the final total of $9.7 million raised was announced. Alpha Chi Omega and Zeta Tau Alpha raised the most of Greek orgs, Atlas raised the most of special interest orgs, and Pi Chi Theta raised the most of general interest orgs. Lafayette raised the most of Commonwealth campuses.
Well, I'll tell you, Alyssa, Thon was an emotional roller coaster for me, but it was honestly one of the most rewarding experiences.
Yeah, definitely an emotional weekend, but they raised over $9 million, and that's a lot of money.
Exactly. Up next, we will be sitting down a few Penn State students who also spent the weekend fundraising, but for Flint, Michigan. Stay tuned.
Students of Penn State Meteorology, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Good evening, State College. I am student meteorologist Tony Storm here on this February 22nd, 2016, the post-Thon Monday. Just another great weekend here at Penn State University. Students raising almost $9.8 million for the fight against pediatric cancer. So another great total for Thon of 2016. But now, as we're going to get into the weather, here we go, starting out with some rain as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday, a little bit more of a chance of precipitation, some heavy precipitation as we get into Wednesday. And then Thursday, you're going to want to keep an eye out for icy conditions, icy roads, and sidewalks, as we're going to get a change over to some freezing rain and ice, especially into the evening and late night hours of Thursday. But then here comes the sun on Friday. Throughout the rest of State Patty's weekend and the middle of next week, it is looking to be precipitation-free. So staying dry throughout this weekend. So those who will be out for State Patty's Day, not going to need an umbrella. It is going to be dry, but still will not be that warm. Highs are only going to be in the low 30s. Current temps in the Commonwealth, 45 degrees in State College, 47 up in Williamsport, 47 in Allentown, and not too bad in Philly right now. 54 degrees, very nice for this time of year. And then the northern tier, always cooler as it is, 35 degrees up in Bradford and 35 up on the lake in Erie, Pennsylvania. Now, we stayed pretty dry today. Really no precipitation showing up on the radar at all for today, just other than a few clouds. Now, here we go. Tuesday, going to cloud up with a slight chance for precipitation. As you can see, it's going to be very scattered. Now, I might even see a little bit of a mixed situation here, As you can see, 3:30 a.m. Wednesday morning, so very early. Most of you will still be in bed. See this little changeover at night, as temperatures are going to be very close to freezing, especially in the upper atmosphere. But that's going to move through. Now here's what you really want to look at Wednesday. Here, 3 p.m., most people walking to classes going to want to have an umbrella. The dark green here over State College representing some heavier rain, and a little bit to the north. See these yellows up here. Now those could end up shifting a little bit more south. So you're going to want to have rain gear and be prepared for this rain that's going to be moving through the State College area on Wednesday. Now, your forecast for tomorrow, that just chance of rain going to be scattered and may even see a little bit of a mixed situation mix in tomorrow night as we get into Wednesday. Calm winds, only 5 miles per hour of a north wind, and again, that high of 39 degrees. And here we get through the rest of the week. Chance of rain on Tuesday, 39 degrees. Wet conditions on Wednesday, your high of 44 degrees. Freezing rain and ice, as you're going to see that mix over on Thursday, as we're going to have cooler temperatures, the high of 40, and peaks of sun of 31 degrees. For you going to the Jason Aldean concert on Friday night, going to have nice conditions for that, just a little chilly. And Saturday, Little Wayne, Wheezy's coming to State College, and we'll be rocking the PJC on Saturday with partly sunny conditions, 31 degrees for your State Patty's Day, and Sunday and Monday, partly sunny conditions, and a good way to kick off the weekend and next week's work week. From the Penn State Campus Weather Service and PSN, I'm student meteorologist Tony Storm. Sports is next.
Welcome back. Here with me today is Zico Kaya, who visited Flint, Michigan this weekend to deliver bottled water to the town in midst of their water crisis. Welcome, guys. How's it going today?
Great. Good.
And you guys went to Flint, Michigan this weekend. How was it?
You can start.
Yeah, it was a very eye-opening experience. I think that many of the students that came with us, we all took a lot out of it, and we understood that, you know, different communities, they face so much things, and it's great to help, you know, being 400 miles away. So
Exactly. And you guys hand-delivered this water to Michigan. I have to ask, what were the reactions like when you got there?
I mean, I think it was the best opportunity was to go there and really just show the people that we're someone from around the country, supporting them, and actually we're making, you know, the attempt to be there versus just shipping the water. They were really welcoming. I mean, everybody was telling us as they were receiving the water, God bless, and we were just saying the same thing back and, you know, delivering this water all around the community. So it was a great experience in that.
Exactly. And now you had a specific target group in mind, didn't you, when you went to Flint? Can you explain that more for me?
yeah, I would say, so who we really wanted to reach out to were the undocumented families because they weren't receiving any aid or any water from the government. So we had an organization that we were working with, and they work with undocumented families. So when we got to the church, they gave us a list of addresses and phone numbers. So we called them first, and if they didn't answer, we delivered a message saying, you know, even though y'all didn't pick up, we're still going to drop our water to you guys and everything.
So even if they didn't pick up, you guys were still there with water.
Yes, yes.
That's amazing. And a lot of organizations in the Michigan area were very excited, am I right, that Penn State students nonetheless were coming out to help out.
Yes, yeah.
We were happy to just represent for the whole Penn State community because if we would have shipped it, no one really would have paid attention to where the water's coming from. But we were happy, just as, you know, we were 19 individuals, to be able to go there and represent for the whole Penn State campus community who, you know, was supporting us with donations and water and money. So
Exactly, and I think you made every Penn State student proud here, especially because now you said that when you hand delivered it and the reactions were just absolutely amazing. What were some of the things that some of the people told you when you got there?
So one experience at one house that I had was, you know, when we knocked on the door, they said, come in, and we were like, oh wow, they want us to come in.
Yeah.
So when we walked in, they just started crying, you know, thank you for your help. You know, we don't have any help, and every day it takes us so much water just to wash. And it was a family of 7, by the way.
Wow.
So I can't even imagine how much water they need to use to just wash and drink and wash clothes and all of those things. So they like really like, they wanted hugs and everything too. So we were really there for them.
Exactly. And now, Brian, you're a sophomore and you're president of your organization, Social Justice Coalition. How did you get this started?
So it's funny. It started off, I was on Twitter one day and I just saw a hashtag. It said Flint Water Crisis. And I was like, you know, I have to get involved with this. Let me check out some more information. And once I saw the hashtag, I saw that, you know, the first thing I saw was brown water next to clear water. And I was like, oh no, we got to do something about this. And the thing is, once you have a vision, then you have to just take it from there, and you gather up people who have the same mindset as you, and then we can make anything possible. So.
Exactly. Well, that's really inspiring. I think the big thing to take away from this is 19 individuals, but one person can make the difference, and that's exactly what you guys did today. Thank you so much for being here. Again, this is sophomore Brian Davis and junior Kayat.
Mike Gilbert with your PSN News Sports Update. The Nittany Lion men's basketball team is cruising. Coach Pat Chambers proud of the effort from his team and his seniors last week after the Iowa win.
We came back in on Sunday, and we went after it, and those seniors went after it. They didn't want to let that happen again. And it's very true, you practice the way you play.
This weekend, State beat Rutgers with Shep Garner scoring 20 points, senior Brandon Taylor adding a double-double effort in the win, scoring 17 points and grabbing 14 boards. The Blue and White have won 3 of 4, including wins over Indiana and Iowa, who are both ranked. Taylor also named Big Ten Co-Player of the Week. Penn State Wrestling defeated Oklahoma State yesterday to win the 2016 NWCA National Dual Championship Series title. Penn State has now won 3 different titles this season and is undefeated after the regular season for the first time since 1972. The team will head down to Iowa for the Big Ten tournament in 2 weeks. Another team whose regular season has come to a close, the men's hockey team. Our Allison Gasparetti has more.
It's senior weekend here in Happy Valley for the Penn State men's hockey team, where the program is celebrating a senior class who has been key in the team's success over the past few years. The 8 seniors honored this weekend are the first graduating class to spend all 4 years playing Division I hockey in the blue and white. The energy in Pagula was undeniable as Penn State took the ice. It didn't take long for the Nittany Lions as senior David Glenn put Penn State on the board just 6 minutes into the first period for his 6th goal of the season. Vince Pedri was up next as he hit one over the right shoulder of Ohio State goalie Christian Fry less than 5 minutes into the second. Junior David Goodwin, senior Luke Yuha, and freshman Alec Marsh all scored late in the second, putting Penn State up 5-0. Things started to get a little chippy on the ice as Ohio State struggled to come back from the huge deficit, and a few fights started out, drawing penalties for both sides. After a slew of spectacular saves by junior goaltender Eamon McAdam and a 6-on-3 in favor of the Buckeyes, junior Zach Saar broke away to score an empty netter and put the nail in the coffin, securing Penn State's 6-1 win. According to head coach Guy Godowski, the senior class has meant everything to a program that was still getting on its feet.
And this group of guys, they were the opposite. They were like, I don't care what people have said, they had a lot of belief in themselves and a lot of belief in Penn State University. And because of that attitude and their understanding that they're building a culture and a foundation, they really took that to heart. And you're seeing the results now. They deserve, so much credit for the culture of this program.
For PSNtv, I'm Allison Gasparetti.
Bubba Watson, a happy man today, winning his 9th career PGA event yesterday, taking home the Northern Trust Open at the Riv. Watson held off a late charge from Adam Scott to win the Los Angeles-based event at 15 under. Scott and Jason Kokrak finished 14 under par. Dustin Johnson finished solo 4th at 13 under. Anthony Davis helping fantasy owners everywhere, dropping an absurd 59 points, nabbing 20 boards, amounted to a total of 86 fantasy points. The Pelicans beat the Pistons, and Davis is the first to go for at least 50 points and 20 rebounds since Chris Webber in 2001. What to watch for: if the Warriors beat Atlanta tonight, they would be the fastest team to reach 50 wins in NBA history. That game can be seen tonight at 8 on NBA TV or can be streamed illegally on the internet. That's it for your PSN News Sports Update. I'm Mike Gilbert. Back to the news desk after this.
And that does it for us here at PSN News Tonight for February 22nd, 2016. Thanks for joining us, and make sure to check us out on Twitter at PSN News.
And make sure to watch us every Monday night live at 7 p.m. Have a good night, and thanks for watching.